I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be always be ready to flirt. You should always be ready to flirt with women or just have random conversations with people when you're standing in line at a moment's notice. Now, there's going to be some days where you're just not going to feel up to it and you're not going to want to. And there's other days where it seems like everywhere you go, you're just kind of floating through life and you know exactly what to say at just the right time and the right thing just flows out and everybody responds great. And then there's other days it's just you're not feeling the vibe. Maybe you're pissed off or you had a bad day or you spilled coffee on yourself on the way to work or whatever it happens to be. And it's not as easy. But like what I teach is that, especially for guys that are looking to lose their fear of approaching and talking to women, is that you get in the habit of talking to people and striking up conversations with strangers everywhere you go. And then over time, you get good at it, and it becomes easy. And then you just, you'll find yourself having the same conversations with different people just to keep your skills going. It's like a way to kind of stay warm or warmed up already, because you never know. Because the big thing that some guys run into, that especially guys that are shy or they're afraid to talk to women, is that they think, okay, I'm going to go talk to a girl that I really like. And so they look and they may go to a mall, and maybe they're 2-3 times a week they see a girl, they're like, wow, I really like her. But since they're not talking to anybody when they go anywhere, it's just it's nothing they practiced before. So how are they going to be able to do it, or how are they going to be able to get any better? You can read a book and say, okay, I'm going to go, these are great tips and techniques, Corey. I'm going to go talk to a girl. But if you're terrified of talking to women and you're just kind of a shy person and you don't talk to people very often, it's going to be very difficult. And that's why I talk about going to the mall and interacting with clerks and other people that work there or old people that are there, because they'll just want to have a great conversation. The other day I was sitting having lunch and at a very popular restaurant, and then the girl that came over was waiting on me, and we were talking, and I said something about one of my girlfriends who happened to really love this particular restaurant. And so I was taking a picture of some of the food that was there to send her, because I know, she'd like it, and she'd be a little jealous that I went to one of her favorite restaurants and had one of her favorite dishes there. And so I was just saying girlfriends, like just not thinking anything of it. And she says, girlfriends. And I just kind of, I said, yeah. And I just kind of, I went about, I was looking at the menu or something. I just kept talking, saying what I was saying. And when she walked away, there was this old couple that was sitting right next to me at the table. And I could tell, just because when you sit down and you have this alpha male presence, everybody around you can feel that. They can feel a guy who doesn't give a shit what other people think. Because they can hear my voice, because I talk just like this no matter where I go. And that's just who I am. And it's amazing the effect it has on everybody, because it makes everybody else smile. Because here's a guy that obviously, I'm a guy's guy. Stuff doesn't bother me like most people do. I don't get hung up, or I don't get offended at shit that other people say. I just don't have time for that petty bullshit. Because at the end of the day, words only have the meanings which we give them, right? And so I'm sitting there, and the girl walks away, and I could see the old guy. He's sitting over here, and his wife's like to my left. And I could see out of his corner of his eye, he's trying, he keeps looking over at me, hoping that I'll look over and acknowledge him or make eye contact. And so I did. And he says, I liked how you said girls. And I said, I've got lots of different girlfriends. He's like, when I'm single, I'm not in a serious relationship. It's just, I've had, several girlfriends in the past, even ones that I'm not dating anymore, that forbade me from calling. They said, I don't like it when you call me your ex. And so, it's like if they're single, then we hang out and hook up, whatever, it's no big deal. But if they're in a relationship, we're still friends. And we just have amazing relationships like that. And I keep in touch with them. I have women that I know that are all over the fucking world. And it's awesome. And so it's a very natural thing for me. And I don't think about it. But it's like other people. It's like when you walk around, it's like you have the same effect on people as the captain of the football team does. And why? Why is that? Because I'm happy. I'm boisterous. I talk, I say whatever's on my mind, I don't hold back, and it gives everybody else permission. It's like we started talking to this old couple and finds out he's in like the DVD business, and I guess his son got him into that, and they basically provide movies like, $8-10 DVDs, like when you're at Walmart or some of these other big stores, more likely you're buying one of his company's DVDs. It was just a fascinating business. And, this guy was telling me his whole story and everything. It was just very engaging. And that's just what happens. It's like wherever you go. And so the idea, like I say, is that you always want to be flirtatious wherever you go. And I got a quick email here for a guy. And he says, "Hey, Corey, I had a simple question for you. I like flirting and have become very proficient at it. But there are days where I just don't feel it, like an athlete off of his game. Did you have any special methods you use to get yourself in the game on an off day, or is that just something that happens? Examples are some days I just can't seem to strike up a conversation where I normally would have no problem, or I don't even make the attempt when I know I'm perfectly capable of approaching a girl." And so the idea, what I would say is that you haven't done it enough for long enough, so it's not a big enough deal. So because you still obviously are dealing with some fear. And so the key is that you want to talk to people everywhere you go. It's not just women. And that's where a lot of guys get hung up, is thinking I got to only talk to women. It's like, no, you talk to people everywhere. Just like the example I was sharing in the restaurant, because I engage them, and then the other people in the other tables around us, because we're talking kind of loud, and they can overhear the conversation. So they're all kind of looking over, and they know a dominant male is in the room, and they just all look at with deference and respect, and kind of in a way is like, "Ooh, hey, I want to get his attention. I kind of want to listen in on what he's saying. He's a pretty fascinating dude, because I have interesting things happen to me, and I have interesting friends, and so I just meet interesting people wherever I go." But to answer your question, there are days where I just, I'm just not in the mood, or I don't feel like it, or I was up late, and so I maybe got 3 hours of sleep, which happens quite often, and so I might not be in the mood. But it's just like when it comes to writing, what I found. And Dale Carnegie has this quote that he says, "Inaction breeds fear and doubt, and action breeds confidence and courage." And so, there's lots of days where I don't feel like writing, and I don't feel like, I want to go through the process of coming up with what I'm going to do for a video. But what I do is I force myself. I just sit down and I start working on it instead of sitting there going through all the meditations in my mind of what I don't like about it and what I don't want to do and how bad I don't feel about it or whatever. It's something that I have to do and I have to get done that day. So I just put my head down and I start doing it. And I start working on it. And usually for the first few minutes, it's kind of cold and rusty, and I might be sitting there fucking cussing and being pissed off about the fact that I'm working and I don't really feel like it. And then the next thing I know, it's like 15 minutes into it, and I got a couple paragraphs, and I'm kind of like getting in the mood, and I'm on a roll. So those days when you feel cold and you don't feel like doing anything, that's actually when you need to push yourself to do something. But, the other thing you keep in mind is you don't want to ignore your negative feelings or those crappy feelings that you feel inside. But obviously you don't want to deal with them in public, but you should take time at night. If you're feeling crappy feelings, you got to authentically be present with them and just state, "Whatever, I feel like shit right now. Today was a total fucking disaster at work," or "I feel like I didn't get anything accomplished today," or "That asshole that cut me off in traffic, motherfucker, I wanted to punch his ass," or whatever you feel authentically, just express it at home. Punch your pillow, whatever you got to do. If you're hurt or you're upset, something happened, you just feel like crying, have a good cry. The idea is you got to feel it to heal it, because what you resist persists in life, but what you look at disappears. And so when you authentically experience your negative emotions, like when you're at home or whatever, that'll help you when you're out in the world, because what most people do is they avoid all that stuff. And so when you avoid something, when you resist feeling negative feelings instead of being present with them, they're always with you. And so you go out and you're in a 7-Eleven, and you should be talking to people and trying conversation, and then you're just like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm not going to," because you're in a pissed off mood because you didn't experience your authentic feelings. So you're feeling pissed off in line, and then you turn around, there's this really cute girl there, and she sees a scowl on your face, and then all of a sudden a smile comes over, and then you start trying to talk to her, and it's a train wreck because you let the negative emotions run you. And instead of experiencing them at home, feeling it, to heal it, and then move on. And then, like I said, get yourself out there, force yourself to take action. So it's like if you need time to suffer, then do it at home by yourself, or sit in your car and do whatever you got to do. But the key is, like, when you're out in public, you got to be fucking on. And when you don't feel like being on, that's when you actually should force yourself to do it, because you get in the flow of it, and then it's pretty easy. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons which are also located in the would be a toolbar at the bottom of your screen. If you got a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 3 or 4 paragraphs maximum, detailing your situation, your challenges, or your questions, and just give me plenty of time to get back to you, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot from my paying phone coaching customers. And so I got to focus on my paying customers first, but just be patient. Sometimes it'll take me several days to get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away so I can help you with a specific situation or challenge that you're having, the best way to talk to me is to book a paid phone coaching session. Just click the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.